Now. Paste it. All right. Welcome to the last talk of Friday's edition of X2Go, the Spread 2023. In this talk, we'll take a look at how X2Go client's RDP proxy mode works. In the previous talk, we learned how jump hosts work, and RDP proxy mode is similar to using a jump host with X2Go server installed. The difference that X2Go server can be installed on a machine behind an SSH or HTTP jump host. So I guess one could say it's jump hosts all the way down, but for the sake of simplicity tonight, we will only look at a regular RDP proxy connection with no additional SSH or HTTP jump host involved. On the X2Go client side, host, login, and SSH port are the connection details for the X2Go server that will act as the RDP proxy. And by selecting Connect to Windows Terminal Server as the session type, a new field Server appears. This is where you enter the name or IP address of the RDP server. Under Advanced Options, you can specify additional command line options to our desktop, say -u username if your username on the RDP server is different from the one you use on the X2Go server. It is very obvious, though, that RDP proxy mode needs more love. X2Go client itself supports both our desktop and FreeRDP, but only in direct connection mode. RDP proxy mode is limited to our desktop. And it's possible to use FreeRDP instead, but it's a nasty hack. You place a bash script in user local bin rdesktop, and then this script needs to pass all the rdesktop parameters and convert them into the proper FreeRDP parameters. And of course, this only works if no one else needs rdesktop on the server. If it's actually needed, it becomes a horrible guessing game based on environment variables and whatnot to determine if the real rdesktop should be called or FreeRDP. But even with rdesktop, initial connection attempts will fail because we need to trust a certificate. This is trust on first use, and rdesktop added support for trusting certificates some time ago, but we never added support for it in X2Go client. So the session starts, then terminates because it times out, as it's waiting for a window that never appears, as our desktop is waiting for certificate confirmation on the command line, which is invisible to the user. And even with that fixed, by manually calling our desktop on the command line once, it still won't connect. Because unlike FreeRDP, our desktop doesn't support the current RDP security standard that Microsoft sets by default. So you need to downgrade security on the Microsoft side as well. To do that, you need to go to Control Panel, System and Security System, and check Allow remote connections to this computer, but uncheck Allow connections only from computers running remote desktop with network level authentication. Well, still time for a live demo, I'd say. So let's fire up X2Go client. And before we start, let's just take a look at the session configuration. This is the advanced option. And this is where I entered the parameters. So I have the correct username set for our desktop session. And let's go. And obviously, I already accepted the certificate. And where's the window? Let's see. On the wrong screen once more. Here we go. And I need to enter the password manually. I could have specified it on the command line, but that's insecure, so I won't do that. Which means I need to log in first into X2Go server, then into the Windows RDP server. And once again, we are back on the Windows screen. And move this around so you can see it's not just a screenshot. And this time I go, oh, it was. No, that's not what I want to do. No. And shut down and sign out. I want to sign out this time because we're done with the demo. There we go. So once again, thank you for your time. To all of you watching us via YouTube, remember to return to the wiki page once the stream stops, as the address will change once again for the official goodbye. And I'm now ready to answer any questions you may have and to take feedback from you. And especially if you're interested in working on this or in sponsoring paid work on this, please contact or contract us. You can find our details here. So once again, thank you for your time.
Just one comment. If you, I mean, it's a nasty hack. I'm actually wrapping our desktop into X3 RDP, but you could start X2Go client with a path variable that is custom crafted for this.
No, you can't start X2Go client with it. You would have to do that on the server.
Because it's a server side stuff. Okay, okay.
In direct mode, you don't have this issue because even if you didn't have the choice between our desktop and X3 RDP inside the client, then yes, what you suggested would work, but this is a server side problem.
Yeah. So
also X3 RDP supports a known host file, so you could also maintain these known host files separately, via system management, whatever means, and then so if you presume the to be connected, or if you anticipate the to be connected RDP service, you could sort of deploy their host keys, the public part, into the X2Go user home, and then X3 RDP would be happy. So if we had X3,
similarly, there is a config file for our desktop where you can place, or a folder inside. What was it called? .config something. Our desktop has a subfolder there, and in that subfolder it has a certs subfolder, so you could place certs in there. I just don't know if they need to be signed in some way or whatever.
No, I guess not. With X3 RDP, it's like an SSH known host key, and I assume that our desktop uses the same mechanism because it's the same RDP protocol and server. Also, I'm wondering, let me just take a quick look, do an estimate how much work it would be actually to adjust the server part, because it cannot be really that much work. Where's the X2Go? Here it is. No. Okay. It's in run command, I guess, Mihai, isn't it?
Probably. Run command.
X2Go run command. So
unless you spawn it directly, I really don't know.
Yeah. So Stefan, I think that the change is quite simple. Can you?
Well, I would guess that somebody would have to copy this option block, or this radio button block that we have for the direct connection, and just somehow paste it into the part for the remote connection.
So
Because
so
we
at the moment it is you
spawn
have to specify the command with all the options.
Yeah, at the moment, if we start a direct connection, X2Go client knows which parameters to use and which executables to run.
Yeah, yeah.
So we could probably copy that block almost identically over there. It would just have to pass the executable name and the parameters to the SSH connection to the server instead of running it locally.
Yeah. And even if you don't want to have this comfort, you could simply adjust the X2Go run command script at line 358 and simply tell X or add. So what we do is we check for the executable to be called, and if that's our desktop, we do some pulse audio DSP wrapping and add some arguments, and we add another argument for if the media folder is there, and that we sort of present that as a disk inside the desktop session, the RDP session. And you could simply take that block, add it with X-free RDP, and either drop the audio stuff or exchange it by what is needed for X-free RDP, and
Yeah, but the
then it
entire
should
parameter
immediately
font
work
is different.
without
No,
configurability on the X2Go client side.
The thing is that free RDP uses different parameters. So as soon as you start passing more parameters than just even the IP or server name needs a parameter in front of it. And the new style of free RDP parameters uses Windows style separators. So you don't have dash or double dash, you have a slash. But we already have code that does this properly.
Yeah, I know.
Just on the local side.
So how do I enable? You showed it, but I didn't look at the video stream. Connect to Windows Terminal Server. That's the option, right?
Yeah, first you choose that you want to connect to a Windows Terminal Server, and then there's a little checkbox below.
Direct connection.
Direct connection.
And advanced options.
Then, no, advanced options should disappear, I guess, once you hit the direct connect checkbox.
Yeah.
But you need to switch tabs on. I think it's the third tab from the left. Let me see.
Yeah, input output basically. Yeah, it's basically all there. You're right, yeah. But as I said, even with only a little bit of coding, you could enable X-free RDP support, because it has to be enabled server side, or it has to sort of adjust it server side, or we yeah. It needs adjustment on both, and you can simply do it on the server side and use the advanced options button. And
yeah, the problem is that with the advanced options, I have no way of passing through username and password automatically. I cannot pass through credentials. I can hard code them, but that's bad, because then my password will be in there in plain text.
I get
and it probably will also show up in plain text in the process list.
It will. But it will also do with this approach here. No, actually, I think X-free RDP X's out the password, and our desktop does too. They change the process list string before they actually, or right at the beginning. I remember something like that. Yeah. Actually, free RDP 3.x is coming up So I'm not sure if they changed the option style again. I hope not. But Bernard is actually currently packaging the first draft for a Debian package of a Debian package.
Okay.
So he just released 3.0.
Okay. Any further comments, questions, suggestions regarding RDP proxy mode in X2Go client? Doesn't look like it, so we'll stop the